Don Charles and Dean Whyte disagree with Anthony Joshua and give their take on Wilder vs. Fury 3. Let's talk about it.
Push the weight in the flex, flex. The livest one in the six. Fit the runner, boy, you nigga, no question. You were when a motherfucker hot stepping. Hey, you never had a big enough weapon. Motherfucker never learned your lesson. I'm a 88 pack nigga, boof. I'm a 88 pack nigga, boof. I mean, day walker, drink blood, trains out, full moon, motherfucker change like a hoe, nigga. I'm just a nigga from the hood trying to stack a little cheddar for the money.
Drew Titan Bronx on deck. Shout out to the mighty LDBC. I gotta hit this jazz because we gotta remain calm. So I just watched an interview with Don Charles and Dean Whyte. All right, I'm not gonna clown this video. I just want to review. They did an interview. I'm gonna put the link in the description. They did an interview today, and they gave their take on Wilder Fury 3, the events surrounding it, the controversy, and they also gave their opinion on AJ's words in reference to Deontay Wilder not being elite. So I took some notes. So let's review. First thing I noticed was Don said Wilder pulled the plug on the undisputed fight. This is not a fight that they wanted to see. They wanted to see Wilder versus, they wanted to see Fury versus AJ for undisputed. Fine. They wanted to see that. They're Brits. Of course they wanted to see that. Why is it that Wilder pulled the plug on the undisputed fight? I did a live stream earlier today, and I said language is important. And only the people that agree with them will agree with this statement. Newsflash, Wilder did not pull the plug on Undisputed. Why are y'all acting like he stepped in and did something wrong? He only stepped in and enforced what was owed to him. He did not pull the plug on Undisputed. Fury spent 14 months trying to get away from his contractual obligation. Hello. Hey. I'll further prove that by way of their own words. He asked, why didn't Wilder address the cheating allegations to Fury's face and called the allegations outrageous? Well, why didn't Fury enforce that issue to Deontay's face, to Malik's face? Let me tell you how this works. You accuse me of something, and I know for a fact it's not true. Every time I see you, I am bringing it up. I am going to cross-check the hell out of you. Every time I see you, I'm bringing it up. Yo, you said da-da-da-da-da. It's not true. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Don't come at me with half-truths. Don't come at me with what I said something to the effect of no. Quote me word for word. Don't come at me talking about what you think I did or whatever. No, I am pressing. You accuse me of cheating you, especially in the sport of boxing. You accuse me of cheating you. Every time I see you, I'm going to address you. That was actually Fury's time to shine because Deontay was quiet. And I'm sure Malik wouldn't have ducked and dodged the issue. He just ain't bring it up. It was said. It's out there now. Fury should have been like, oh, you said I cheated. What about that? I did not cheat you. That's bollocks. Why wasn't he the one forcing the issue? Why not? D said what he said. Malik co-signed what he said. If it wasn't true, Tyson, I wonder why you didn't bring it up. That's just me, though. He goes on to say, he said the second fight, it was conclusive, but due to the contractual obligation, they have to have a third fight. So again, contractual obligation. So they have to have a third fight. So is Wilder pulling the plug on Undisputed or was Fury prolonging the damn trilogy. We are here, all the way here in July now, because of Tyson Fury paying lawyers millions of dollars to get him out of this situation. Are we on track with that? That is not a debate. That's not a debate. We're here because of Fury. Because the reality is, we could have had this fight December 5th when he tried to fight Caballero or Takam or whoever he was trying to pull out the ether. That's a fact. We have to wait till July now. We're all the way in July. We could have had this before Christmas. Do y'all know that? Do y'all know that this is Fury's fault that it's taken so long? It's his fault. That's it. Wilder said, I want my rematch. That's all he said. But this guy says the second fight was so conclusive. So, of course, I get that. A lot of people saying, oh, he beat him so easy. The second time, I don't want to see a third. Well, guess what? What do I always say? Documentation beats conversation. No matter how we feel, no matter what we think, it's in writing. And he spent 14 months trying to get out of it. Those are the facts. You can't debate that. He lost. He went to arbitration. He lost. And now we're getting the fight in July. Why do we have to go through all of that? It gets better. Dean called Wilder a walking contradiction because he was silent at the press conference. He said, hey, he's usually so talkative. He has nothing to say. He said what he had to say. Why are you worried about him talking? Every time he talks, people say, I wish he'd shut up. Now he's silent and they want him to talk. I mean, really. But wait a minute, though. He did talk. Did you miss this? This was the woman, Christina Pancha, who was speaking at the podium. Thanks at BBC Sport for the kind mention. It wasn't shown on the live stream, but I did have a quick chat with Deontay during Bob's response, and he told me it wasn't personal, but he wasn't going to answer any questions during the pressure. So we carried on, all good. So you see, Dean, he was talking. He just wasn't talking to the backstabbing American media and the other media that takes his words and bends and twists it all the way around. You should know a lot about that as I proceed. Bending and twisting words. So he has nothing to say to you, but he has been talking to us. Barbershop Conversation, 78 Sports TV, Ellie Seckback, Champside, Blue Blood Sports. So he is talking. He's just not talking to you guys. But let's continue. He said that Breland was slandered by Deontay, and if he was nasty, he could have sued. Then why didn't Breland sue? Why didn't he sue? For slander. I mean, this is open and shut, right? Wilder said he referred to him as a shady trainer, backstabbing, whatever he said. Blames him, stopping the fight when he told him not to. Blames him for the poisoning. Whether he actually poisoned him or turned a blind eye to it, he blamed him. He blamed him. And he denied it, but why didn't Breland sue? Everybody watching this, everyone who read that, who doesn't believe it, everyone that I've heard, they said, oh, he should sue. He should sue. Right? He should sue. Why didn't he? Why didn't he? It's a question. Now I know the haters will be like, oh, well, why sue? He doesn't need to sue. He knows he's lying. Does he really? You see, again, if you accuse me of something and it's slanderous to the point where I can hit you in the pockets, I'm going to do it. I'm telling you straight up and down, I'm going to do it. Mark Breland is a trainer. And whether you like it or not, whether I like it or not, those 10 title defenses that is putting Wilder in history books, Breland was there for that. When you look at it, while he was trained during this title reign, Mark Breland was there, whether we like it or not. And that slander could affect him from getting other training jobs. That's damages. Why not sue? At least try to sue. You can sue someone and not be successful, but he didn't even try. And don't tell me that he didn't see the point. He slandered that guy, right? Why didn't Mark sue? Why didn't Tyson Fury sue for slander? He said, oh, if I was like everybody else, I'd sue for slander. Hey, y'all are really not paying attention to detail. You think that didn't come up in arbitration? You could sue him? He slandered you? Defamation of character? Show me the proof. One party had proof, the other did not. So it's not that he decided not to sue for defamation. It's he couldn't. Y'all gonna get everything y'all asking for, I'm telling you. You think it's over after the 24th? It's not. But moving along. Dean said he could have easily taken the cup and got it forensically checked. Dean, what cup? He's referring to the water. He drank water from a bottle that was given to him by Mark Breland. Dean, what cup are you talking about? Am I missing something, Dean? Very strange. Furthermore, Team Wilder didn't think about poison until the next day, and they were already leaving. Just trust me on that. Remember who I talked to. There's things in there that I'm not going to disclose, but just remember who I talked to. And by then, all the water was gone. Think I'm lying? Fine. But Dean, explain this. The man asked where that bottle came from. The man giving it to Fury said, right over there. He said, over there? Yeah? No, no, thank you. You saw Shelly Finkel sitting there looking like, what? He asked where that bottle came from, which means all the bottled water in the building could have been poisoned that was next to that locker room or at the post fight. They wanted to make sure that that man was poisoned. You ain't got to believe me. I just showed you a clip of him declining a closed bottle of water. Why did he even ask where it came from, Dean? But it's bullocks, right? You're going to tell me that poison isn't possible? Evander Holyfield just did an interview with Fight. I just did a video covering it a couple of days ago, where he did a video with Fight Hype. He knows there was some funny business going on. He knows it. Come on, man. Actually, poison water is the oldest trick in the book. Dean, whatever your name is. He said, right is right, wrong is wrong. If he had a contract, these guys should have been men and honored that contract from the beginning. Hold up. How is any of this Deontay's fault? This responsibility is not shared. All of this was prolonged by Fury. So why is he, remember what I said, language is important? It sounds like and I just quoted him word for word. It sounds like he's making it sound like it's a shared responsibility. Both men, he says, these guys should have been men and honored that contract from the beginning. Deontay had to enforce it because Fury was not being a man of his word that he put in writing. Don't play this game with me. Don't slick talk me. I am the truth. Don't slick talk me. I don't care who you know, Dean. You can't have this conversation with me. Because you're leaving out key elements. What he's doing here is half-truths. Talking about contradictions, let's go further, man. Let's go further, because this was disgusting. Dean says boxing is a nasty and shady place at the best of times, and things happen. What? So if it's all that, tell me why you didn't believe Wilder again? If it's nasty and shady, why don't you believe Wilder? Not one mention of Fury's history in this interview. Not one mention that the country that they're fighting in right now, Fury does not have a license to fight there. Not one mention of that. They're not giving Wilder any benefit of the doubt. They're just brushing it off. But he just said it was nasty and shady. I'm going to drop the link. Y'all go listen. It's like a 21-minute interview. Y'all go listen to it word for word. They're not screaming and shouting, whatever. They sound very articulate. But I'm pointing out the key points of that interview. I listened to all of it. And I took notes. So let's go ahead. It says Wilder looks unnatural with his new style. Says he had to have some skill to become WBC champion. Says he fell in love with the right hand and became more of a one-trick pony to where he didn't need to use much skill, but went to the Olympics, so there had to have been some IQ and boxing skills somewhere. All right. He says he looks unnatural training with Malik Scott. Says he looked unnatural. Said, but he follows it up saying he had to have some skill to become WBC champion. So he looks unnatural with Malik, but had to have some skill to become WBC champion. He fell in love with the right hand, which I might add that Deontay and Malik both out. They basically said that when you get comfortable doing one thing, you don't feel you need to do anything else. They said that. Okay. Not going to knock that. Says he fell in love with the right hand and became more of a one-trick pony to where he didn't need to use much skill. But he went to the Olympics, so there had to be some IQ and boxing skills somewhere. Didn't Blue Blood say that you don't get a bronze medal? You don't even get a medal on that level, on an Olympic level, if you don't have some sort of skill? Didn't he say that? It's the truth. Now, true, he may have fallen in love with his own power. He told that to Blue on the interview yesterday. Go look at it. But they had to go back to the basics, and now Deontay Wilder is just showing you what's already been there. He just never had to use it. So is he not showing his opponent some level of respect, saying, you know what, I got to change some things? So he got rid of Mark Breland. Now, y'all might not like the circumstances in which Mark got let go, but it is what it is. Breland ain't, well, he disagreed so much to the fact that he came over to the UK and tried to throw Deontay under the bus and lied on a platform. Said he ain't jump rope. I pulled up a video of him jumping rope. Said he ain't hit the bag. Pulled up a video of him hitting the bag. Then came back home and said, I got set up. I told him I didn't want to talk about Deontay. Anyone put a gun to your head and made you say what you said, or did they? Well, you know, it is MTK. Stop. I'm only kidding, but not really. Mark, you went over there and you bleh. Ain't no one told you to do that. If you told them that you didn't want to talk about Deontay, what did you think they was inviting you over to the UK for? You haven't done anything else outside of your career. You didn't do anything else as a trainer but train Deontay Wilder. So what did you think they wanted to talk to you about? And if you said that you didn't want to talk about Deontay when you got there, all you had to do is say, yo, look, it ain't work out. I think he's ungrateful, but, you know, let's see how well he does without me. Next question. But that was a sucker move, Mark. You went over there, you spilled the beans, and then came back and said you got set up. You didn't get set up, man. You made a decision to do what you did. Keep it a buck. But anyway, they openly said that Deontay Wilder had to have some skills to win a medal in the Olympics and to become WBC champion. They said it. So there goes all you haters talking about, oh, well, you ain't got no skill. This is Dean Whyte saying this. And I agree. He did fall in love with his power. One trick pony, though. We'll revisit that statement because you hear that a lot when it's in reference to Deontay Wilder. One trick pony, gold medal. One trick pony. How many pro wins he has? How many highest KO ratio? One trick pony. But let's go forward. He said Fury was his first true test. Bro. Listen. His first test, in my opinion, was Bermain Stavern. And he aced it. Twice. His second test was King Kong Ortiz, and he aced that twice. His third was Tyson Fury, and he got jerked twice. He got cheated twice, okay? I don't care what you say. The man got cheated. This ain't normal, and that's from the first fight. That's not normal, my man. Okay? This is not normal, my man. I don't care what you say. That's not normal. Okay? That's not normal. Pull me glove up. Okay? I don't care what you say. But let's move on. Dean said Wilder stayed clear of unification matches because he probably was still learning on the job. Bro, what? Here we go. Here we go, Dean. And you was doing a little bit well. See, some of this I understand. Because you have to wear a big old cap. You have to wear a big old cap. Right? Because of your man, Dillian. So I get it. I get it. But I want you to understand something. The truth is the truth. Klitschko ducked Deontay Wilder. Don't care what you say. Klitschko ducked Deontay Wilder. Short version. He wanted Vladimir wanted the WBC title back in the family. That's what he said. It's in writing. If you don't believe me, go to BFTB. Look on his channel. He covered the whole thing with Vladimir Klitschko. But I know y'all have a problem with BFTB. You have a problem with my brother, but that's okay. I'll give you the short version. Vladimir wanted nothing more after his brother Vitaly retired. He wanted nothing more than to get the WBC strap back into the family. That's what he said. He fought Deontay Wilder. I'm sorry. Yeah, Stavern fought Deontay Wilder. Lost. Magically, he ain't want the belt no more. But you let the haters tell it. They say, oh, well, Shelly Finkel said that Deontay's just a baby. Let me put you up to speed on that. Shelly Finkel was also managing Vladimir Klitschko. It was in his best financial interest to keep he was protecting his pockets, and he kept his two fighters away from each other. That's business. But Deontay Wilder said, I know something that most don't know, something to that effect. And he wanted the fight because he'd been in Klitschko's camp. And, you know, Dillian Whyte came up with the lie and said, oh, I was there when Klitschko knocked Wilder out cold. But people that were actually there said, yo, Dillian was not even near the building. What is he talking about? That never happened. But people took that lie and ran with that. Klitschko ain't want no smoke with Deontay. But let's go on. AJ ducked Deontay. Without getting into all of that, because that'll be a whole nother video. But AJ ducked $50 million. Remember that? Eddie Hearn? Remember that? $50 million. I'm supposed to believe a guy from Alabama got $50 million? Next day, Deontay, check your email. Now he says, yo, man, I need to see proof of funds. I've never heard that before in my life, ever. But not to be outdone, he saw proof of funds, because then there's a video where he says, yeah, you know, we saw the offer. It was substantial, but there's some things we got to work out. Sometime later, AJ says, I'm not selling my soul for $50 million. There's also a video of him talking about angels on his shoulder, devil on his shoulder, the business mind, and I'll take the fight when I know I could win it. That's what AJ said. And then Dillian Whyte, your husband. Look, man. Deontay told him, go fight King Kong Ortiz and we can get it on. So speaking of ducking, they said no one wants Whyte because he's a dog. But the truth is, Dillian spent his time ducking Ortiz because he was over 40 while fighting Marius Wack, who's over 40, and fighting Povetkin twice, one of which he got stretched out real bad. And he's over 40. Okay? So why is it Dillian calling out guys like Joe Joyce or, you know, Ortiz doesn't have an opponent right now, or Ruiz don't have an opponent right now? Listen, man, clout chasing means nothing. You could have fought Ortiz and got Wilder if you won. By the way, where's that B sample, man? Dude, stop it, man. Just stop it. Stop it. I love how they say Wilder's making excuses while Dillian popped dirty and got caught doing some nonsense with his gloves. Y'all remember that? I guess there's honor amongst thieves. I mean, I got to remember where this is all coming from. It's coming from the UK. I mean, come on. B sample, man. So back to Don. Don says he doesn't believe Wilder has enough time to apply what he's learned with Malik. He's entitled to that opinion. I disagree, but he's entitled, because Dean said there had to be some boxing IQ over there, already there. So maybe what you're seeing him and Malik doing is what D has always been doing, but never had to do on a professional level. But what I find interesting is how they look at Wilder's performance and ignore all the abnormalities. They completely blow off Fury's criminal history. They blow it off as if none of that gives us reasonable cause to believe that Fury's a cheater. I mean, that's incredible. But again, what do I expect from a place that specializes in skin gloves and missing B samples? I would expect nothing less. But here's what's funny. Both of them disagree with Anthony Joshua. This is hilarious. Don said that Wilder showed him some things in the first Stefan fight that he didn't think was possible. So he has got other game. So I think it's a mindset. Now let me stop right there for a second. He has got other game, so he thinks it's a mindset. Meaning that he knows Deontay Wilder can box. First fight. Okay? So if it's a mindset, what makes you think that he's mentally weak going into this third installment? It was Fury. I'm gonna keep drilling this. It was Fury that prolonged this entire thing. They never talk about how Fury spent 14 months trying to get out of this, man. This is funny, man. This is real funny to me. Don said you can't call Wilder a one-trick pony. You know what Dean said? He became a bit of a one-trick pony. Later on in the interview, he says, Don said you can't call him a one-trick pony because of what Fury did to him. He's talking about AJ. He said AJ can't call him a one-trick pony because of what Fury did to him, right? Dean follows up by saying that AJ contradicted himself by saying that, and it was all mind games. Dean goes on to say that Wilder is going down in history as one of the fiercest punchers in this era. And if Wilder is not elite, why is he going down in the history books? Haters. That wasn't me. That was Dean Whyte, Lamar Scott, his birth name. Allegedly. I'm going to read that for you again. Wilder's going down in history as one of the most gruesome, fearsome punches. It's near the end of the interview, but I'm going to put the link in the chat so you can watch it. And if Wilder's not elite, why is he going down in the history books? One of the fiercest punches and going in the history books. Guess why? Those 10 title defenses. Now, when we said it, we were crazy. Dean Whyte just said it. Look, my overall take of the interview is these guys over there are stepping all over each other. 1 minute Wilder's a one-trick pony. The next minute he's not. 1 minute he has no skill. The next minute he does. He had to have an IQ. But, you know, the only thing that they said that I agree with was that he fell in love with his power, that he didn't need to use everything in the toolbox. And guess what? Malik, Scott, and Deontay said that. So is it beyond the scope of reason that everything you're seeing on Instagram was there the whole time? I know what. You didn't see Mark Breland making him do that, helping him do that. I did see him giving him water. Saw that. But look, man, AJ, I got you a contradiction right here that you'll never live down because I'm not going to ever let this go. Remember this? Fury enters the ring, I'll knock him out. Wilder enters the ring, call the police. You said that. Something to that effect. You said that. Remember the face-off? Remember that? You remember that? You remember when you said, hey, man, why have Deontay Wilder in the ring for the face-off? Why get the people amped up for something that you don't know if it's going to happen or not? Remember that, AJ? Remember you said that? Remember that? I remember that very clearly. Then you said something to the effect of, if he tries to get into the ring, you said something about law enforcement. Why get the people amped for something that's not going to happen? Meanwhile, after one of your wins, you have Vladimir Klitschko get into the ring and y'all faced off. Word on the street is that fight wasn't even signed. Was that after the Carlos Takam fight? I don't recall. But you and Klitschko faced off, and that fight wasn't even signed. Talk to me. Wilder's not elite. If he was not elite, off that 4th or 5th WBC title defense, you would have went and snatched it up. You know how I know you would have? Because you looked at Charles Martin as food. You went in there and took that belt and made him a millionaire, but you took that belt without question. Why didn't you do the same thing with Deontay Wilder if it was easy work? Because the reality is it was never easy. And you've been ducking ever since. And those are the facts, like it or not. Anyway, that's a part 1 to the interview. There's a part 2 coming. When it comes out, I'll review it because they left off talking about how Dean and Dillian saw Deontay, you know, with the oh, when I see you, it's on sight thing. I don't believe a word they have to say, but when part 2 comes out, I'll review it and I'll holler at y'all. LDBC strong. Move!